Hello, everyone out there, and welcome to the finale of DSP versus the Internet, episode 41 for December 3rd, 2023. It's been a great show. We've seen all kinds of stuff, and I like this variety. I like the festiveness of the Christmas stuff. I like that there's other stuff. I'm very happy we just reacted to the Fallout trailer. And now let's continue on. Let's see what we have in the final part. Let's go.
On today's video, I am cooking 100 years of burgers. And we're going to be rating them from 1 to 10 so you know which ones we like best.
Wait a minute. I don't think this is in the playlist. I seriously don't think this is in the playlist. That's because it's not. Why did it just do that? Alright, guys, hold on. That was not correct. That's not what was supposed to happen. This is not even in the playlist, so hold on. Okay, here we go. You guys like lazy game reviews, huh? I like his videos too. I will say this, out of the videos that I've watched on this show over the course of the last, 10 months that we've done it, this guy is a pretty great YouTuber. Like, I would say his videos are well done. Like, they're casual, they're genuine, they're not fake, they're not overproduced. He does a variety of content. He does some food. He does some gaming, a lot of retro-related stuff, right? He's reviewed old game computers and things like that, right? So, I like this guy's content. I really do, and I enjoy his stuff. I send him my regards. Tell him I like his content. I think he's a good YouTuber. Anyway, he'll probably hate me for saying that. Most people do. Let's see. Now, obviously, we're not watching a 35-minute video, but it looks like he bought an original Xbox. And he's going to unbox it, huh? Okay, here we go.
Inside looks to be still sealed in the way it left
the
the
original
factory,
plastic, yep.
Which, by the way, was 2004. This is a slightly later one, so I think March 2004 is what the manufacturing date back there says. More on that in a bit. But yeah, look at all this. Got the AV cable all sealed up there. Composite RCA connections.
Yep, that's what everyone used back then. Not even component yet back in the early 2000s.
Is this power, maybe? Yeah, just
power
standard
cord.
Power cable. Also, yeah, that looks like original tape to me.
And
wonderful.
If you notice something, no power block. Back then, all the power blocks were internal to the consoles. It was later on, as they tried to reduce the size of gaming consoles, that they put the power blocks outside of them, which is why you have consoles later that have these ginormous fucking blocks that are annoying as shit.
But yeah, not being terribly familiar with the different versions and releases of the Xbox, I wasn't sure if this would have like the Duke controller. Obviously not. This is like the S controller here, which makes sense, being built in 2004. So, ooh, the main event right here. Look at this.
The original Xbox was quite large.
Oh, man.
It's funny because the original Xbox was large. The Xbox 360 was much smaller, more sleek and stylish. And then with the Xbox One, they went back to being huge, large, and not stylish. It's like they went forward and then completely fucking backwards because of Don Matrick being a complete jackass and not knowing what the fuck he was doing.
Like a Christmas I never had. And last things in the box are paperwork and documentation, so important. We got a warranty registration
Oh, you better
card.
you better register that immediately. It's very fragile hardware.
Congratulations on owning the most exciting product on the planet. Act now to, okay, it's a warranty extension or something. Ooh, I could have used that extended warranty kind of thing on my Xbox 360. My first one of those went red ring. And what is this? Stop. Read things.
Is he going to do anything with it? He's just unboxing and reading all the documentation. Oh, he actually is going to power it on for the first time and it works? Look at that. Sets it up. That's not the most fascinating thing. I had one. Oh, God. How many games does he have?
The drive stopped working, so I haven't even used that one in years. I need to repair it. But yeah, let's try some games.
Damn, he has a lot of original Xbox games. Tons.
All right, well, yeah, just dug out most of my collection of Xbox games. I've never intentionally collected for this system. It's just one of those where I picked up cheap, appealing games.
Well, you can tell this guy's a collector. If he's not even a collector of the system and he has this many games, this is one of those guys, I guarantee you, he has a room in his house that's just games. right? He seems like that kind of guy to me, which is fine. If that's your hobby, if that's your passion. Me, you know me. I don't want that. This guy's got probably an insane collection of games in one room.
Games at thrift stores over the years and what I've accumulated. Honestly, most of the games that I'm quote unquote missing from this, I have for like the PlayStation 2, the GameCube, PC, whatever. So yeah, I've never delved too deeply into this library, but yeah, Midtown Madness 3, here we go. This is the one that most appealed to me back in the day. It was one of my favorite series on PC, and this one never came to the PC, which sucked. It looked so cool. And I have played it a little bit, not very much at all. I would like to do a review on this at some point.
CVS 2, Capcom
Anyway,
vs.
we're definitely
SNK 2.
going to play Midtown Madness 3 and
That's a
4 or
completely
5
unique version
others
of the game.
that really stand out to me from kind of, I guess, early on in the system's life. You know, stuff that I really remember standing out for the system back then, impressing the crap out of me and stuff. Oh, and I also dug out one of my Duke pads.
Yeah, that's the original.
Some years ago.
Before they redid it.
$3 at a Goodwill. Oh, yeah. Still need to really clean this one up, but I really enjoy this pad. Like, it's so beefy and dukey. It's a very dukey pad, but yeah, it's just huge. And it fits my hands quite nicely. It's such a cool pad. I was really intrigued that they...
Just take a look at the difference, right? The original Duke was so weirdly designed, is what I meant to say. The D-pad's not a D-pad. It's like a lump pad. The buttons don't have a full diamond shape. It's a weird ass like angle, and then there's my camera's blocking it. Excuse me, let me move the camera. There you go. And then it has a white and black button that are extra buttons, so it has 6 face buttons, but they're in a weird position, right? Then when they redesigned the original Xbox pad, they changed the positioning and the design of the entire thing to be more similar to a more modern controller. But I remember when Xbox first came out, my friend had it, and we went over his house to play this X-Men fighting game. I don't remember what it was called, but we were playing it on that pad, and that thing is fucking weird. Like, it doesn't control like a modern controller at all. They completely redesigned it for the new one. So, all right, this is a 35-minute video. That was fun, but let's continue on and see what's next.
Way back in the day, TV dinners symbolized the future. It was a compact multi-course meal that took 15 minutes to bake. Didn't require you to scrub any dirty pots, pans, or dishes afterwards.
Throw it out after.
And they were also always incredibly affordable. Some of them even tasted good.
Lucky me. My wife uses Swanson TV turkey dinners. And make your husband lucky, too.
But the TV dinners we're familiar with today have a very sordid origin story, which is only rivaled by its messy final days. Today on Weird History Food, we're gonna talk about the history of TV dinners. But before we get started, be sure...
I wonder how they really got started. Let's
TV
find
dinner
out.
is one of those game-changing innovations that has more than one party claiming they invented it. Gilbert and Clark Swanson of the Swanson brand claimed they invented the TV dinner in 1953, but history shows that their marketing department was really stretching the truth. Here's how TV dinners were really invented. It all started almost 10 years earlier in 1944. William L. Maxon, a successful New York inventor, got the idea for packaging an entire frozen meal several years earlier when he planted too much cauliflower on his property. And who hasn't had to deal with that problem before? He cooked the excess cauliflower, seasoned it, froze it, and then forgot about it. About a year later, Maxon said he thawed his frozen cauliflower, reheated it, ate it, and realized that his year-old veggies were as good as the first day he prepared them. Of course, it's cauliflower, so that is not saying much. Always looking for his next invention, Maxon's cauliflower experiment inspired him to create a good-looking frozen meal that tasted great, but was pretty basic. One single serving of meat and vegetables set and separated in a round, partitioned, glossy paper tray about 12 inches in diameter and a paper lid. He didn't develop these pre-made meals for public consumption, though. Maxon took his invention to the private sector.
Interesting.
For his new revolutionary frozen meals, Maxon approached the Navy. Navy officials love the idea of light, compact meals that cost pennies to make because aircraft carriers are pretty expensive. Now, instead of receiving the usual canned mystery meat, compressed cereal, biscuits, and cigarettes, enlisted personnel on the aircraft of the Naval Air Transport Service would be served hot meals with food that looked, smelled, and tasted surprisingly good. And just in time for World War II. These frozen meals consisted of a main course, steak, meatloaf, beef stew, corned beef hash, ham steak, or breaded veal cutlets, with either 2 separate servings of vegetables or veggies and hot bread. These meals were called Maxon Sky Plates, and they were heated on another Maxon invention, the Maxon Whirlwind Oven,
Whoa.
a sort of convection oven. This special compact oven could warm 6 sky plates at a time, although Maxon would develop the same oven to be able to heat up to 120 frozen meals at a time
Damn.
for the U.S. War Shipping Administration's merchant vessels. That's quite an upgrade. Can anyone buy those ovens? Or eventually, Maxon agreed to an exclusive deal with Pan American Airways to serve the exact same frozen military meals to domestic passengers with civilian packaging. And as news of his revolutionary invention began making its way to the public, it was only a matter of time before the public wanted sky plates for home consumption. So in September of 1946, 1 year after World War II was over, Maxon rebranded Sky Plate as the Strato Meal, presumably because it would knock your taste buds into the stratosphere.
Yeah, right.
The GI Bill gave returning WW II veterans the ability to buy homes, allowing their Rosie the Riveter wives to leave the workforce and raise families in the suburbs. And that is who Maxon's Strato Meals were designed for. Housewives who were busy raising their kids and taking care of the household while their husbands were at work in the city. It was marketed as a full meal you could pop in the oven with no need for prep time or cleanup afterward. You just throw everything in the trash, which is part of the fun. It's way more exciting to toss the dishes than do the dishes. The meals began to catch on, and soon other smaller frozen food companies tried their hand at frozen dinners. By 1952, Maxon had enjoyed 6 years of being the only option in grocery stores. But that year, Quaker States Foods came in and changed the game forever with lightweight aluminum trays featuring a thin aluminum lid. Soon, other small regional companies joined in the frozen food race, like Frigidinner, which expanded their frozen meal
And that's
choices.
basically the end of the story, you know, because then after then they just found ways to make the food even more preservable, even last even longer, even more disposable packaging, lower the cost of production. So it's funny because you notice what they're saying. Oh, the food tasted great. Today, if you just walk to your grocery store and you just grab any of those meals out and you go make it for yourself, you'll be like, it's not awful usually, but it's certainly not like it doesn't taste like it's homemade. It doesn't even taste good. It's just it's okay. You know, I can attest to this. Several years ago, before I met my wife and she moved in with me, I had a year where basically I was eating for myself and I ate a lot of shitty meals. Let me put it that way. That year I even had a Thanksgiving dinner that was a frozen fucking dinner of turkey. Okay. And I can tell you from eating that year, 2 things. Number one, they don't taste very good. Very few of them taste good. The ones that do taste good are absolutely awful for you. And number 2, if you eat them, you will gain weight. Because I did. That year, I gained tons of weight that year. Eating frozen food all year. They're just not good for you. So, that's the difference, is when they started, oh, it's like a homemade meal. It is a homemade meal. Frozen. And then what happens? Oh, well, now this meal could be frozen for fucking 4 years. Right? It's made insane amounts of preservatives, fat, sodium. It's not good for you. It's mass-produced, and the quality drops off, and then it becomes junk, just like everything else. So, okay, let's continue.
I asked 20 doctors to give me their hottest take about medicine. I'll go first. Cold plunges are incredibly overrated and bordering on useless. There's no great real-life data that shows benefit, let alone if people actually stick to these things long-term.
I didn't even know that that was a thing. So I guess if you're an athlete, you've cold plunge into ice water. It's supposed to help you. I wasn't even aware that was something that existed.
All these podcast hosts and experts coming out and talking about research, they're talking about fringe research that doesn't include real-life examples of improvement to justify spending $3,000 to $5,000 for these specialized cold tub plunges when there's actually some research coming out that's legitimate showing that cold water immersion doesn't even help with sore muscles, let alone all the other miracle promises out there.
How's it going? I'm Dr. Alok Patel. I'm a pediatric hospitalist, so if a child is hospitalized, count on me to coordinate care. You want a hot take? I've got a few. We need to better understand and study medical marijuana. Climate change is the largest looming public health threat. Our healthcare system does not adequately value pediatric mental health, regardless of what anyone says. And there is no data-backed reason for any child to ever see a chiropractor. There, I said it. Fight me.
My name is Dr. Anthony Yoon, and I'm a board-certified plastic.
He said way too much, and now everyone's going to come after that guy. Like, he could have said one thing. He said so many things that people are going to be angry about that now people will hate that man. Like, that guy is crazy. I'll take on one issue a day. Like, today, I had a real hot take about YouTubers and stuff. I can't take on more than one a day like that. Like, that's crazy, man. You know, no way. That guy's asking for, like, big trouble. I don't know. He's got big balls. Let's put it that way. Okay.
Surgeon. The scrotum is the ugliest part of the body. There was a study in the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology where they surveyed men and women. They had them look at various scrotum, or scroti, is it scroti? And they had them rank these scrotums on a scale of -3 to +3. -3 being the least attractive and +3 being the most attractive. Well, every single scrotum was given a negative score, so none of them were actually considered attractive.
Hi.
Why would anyone think... Forget it. I'm not even going to ask. Let's continue.
My name is Alok Kanoja, but the internet knows me as Dr. K. I'm a psychiatrist, which means that I'm a medical doctor that focuses on the mind. My hottest medical take is that meditation should be first-line treatment for just about any mental illness. There are already studies that show that mindfulness or meditation is effective at improving symptoms of just about any mental illness. But I think it's really important to understand that the yogis basically figured out how to use meditation to purify and even transcend the mind.
I mean, let's be honest. There's been so many people, humans, in history who have done things for like meditation. There's a word for outside of that, just meditation. But yeah, yogis in particular, people over in India, Asia, constantly practice. It's part of religions, right? And there's got to be something to it. I don't know if it's exactly what people say it is, but you have to think that there's something there. Like I say with everything like this, there's always a nugget of truth in this stuff. So maybe meditation really would help to calm, yourself, your personal center. If you're screwed up, if you have mental issues, if things are just going awful in your life, simply just finding a way to meditate and separate yourself from that could be very beneficial. Who knows, right? And you never know if you're going to be able to spit fireballs too.
If we think about where most mental illness exists, it actually exists within your mind. So the ability to shut off or move completely beyond your mind can be incredibly healing.
My hottest medical take is that probiotics are useless for the average person.
Probiotics companies are taking advantage of people.
It's more hype than health, and if you're taking probiotics, there's a good chance all it does is make your feces more expensive. Now, there is some evidence that it does work and provide some clinical benefit for
probiotics. Aren't those things you take to have to poop more or something like that? Like if you're constipated, if you take probiotics, supposedly it makes it that you'll poop more easy or something like that. That's all. That's what it is, right? Maybe I'm wrong. That's what I thought it was.
People with a narrow range of conditions. But for this, you'll still need medical grade probiotics. It needs to have the right strains and a high enough concentration for it to actually work.
But with the popularity of buzzwords like microbiome and gut health, probiotics companies are doubling down on convincing marketing efforts to make billions of dollars off of unsuspecting Americans who are just trying to be healthy.
What's up, everyone? My name is Jake Goodman, and I'm a psychiatry resident doctor in my 3rd year of residency training. My hottest medical take is that, in general, resident doctors in this country are not given an adequate time to sleep and recover in training, and as a result, they suffer, and patient care can suffer too. Today, it is still legal and accepted for resident doctors to work up to 28 hours in a shift.
Do you think there's something wrong with the medical industry? There's a million things wrong with the medical industry, especially in the United States, particularly. But yeah, it's a broken industry, and the problem is it doesn't seem like there's anyone who's analyzing it and trying to improve it. We just accept it as it is. It's pretty fucked up.
I mean, research has found that sleep deprivation can cause physiological impairment in our bodies that actually mimics the effect of alcohol intoxication. Being awake for 24 hours straight is similar to having a blood alcohol content of 0.1, which is above the legal limit to drive.
Wow.
If it's not safe for resident doctors to operate a vehicle, why would it be safe for us to operate on or treat a patient?
I'm Dr. Danielle Jones. Some of you may know me as...
I'm actually being told probiotics are when perhaps you use the bathroom too much and it helps regenerate bacteria in your stomach. I had no idea. So there you go. I literally probably have never even taken or known what a probiotic was. There you go.
MDJ, and I am an OBGYN. That means I take care of anything having to do with periods, pregnancy, and the female reproductive tract. I believe that healthcare providers far too often dismiss or ignore the concerns of women, and that this is incredibly detrimental to our health.
Hi, I'm Dr.
That's it? You don't have an example of what you mean? Just women in general? It would help if you had, like, an example to back up what you said, rather than just throwing claim out there. Like, I don't even understand what you mean.
Siobhan Deschauer, also known as Violin MD. I'm an internal medicine and rheumatology specialist. Our medical system is set up to fix problems in the doctor's office or in the operating room. But there's only so much that we can do when we're living in an unhealthy society. I believe people need to take more ownership of their health, and that society needs to enable them to make healthy decisions.
I will agree on that 100%. Because our society is supposed to be like instant gratification. Everything is a luxury, right? If you really want to live healthy, think about it. You have to buy healthier foods. The healthier foods are more expensive and harder to get. They expire more quickly. Like fresh fruits and veggies. You'll go to the store to buy healthy food. You'll spend twice as much as if you buy junk food, right? And by the way, you have to go to the store to buy it. You can't just get it at you go to a fucking fast food place that's right down the street from you. That's junk food. That's the bad food, right? It's much harder. Why don't we have a society set up where it's normalized to be healthy? If it was normal to be healthy rather than easy and abnormal, then maybe more people would be healthy. Instead, everything around us is set up to actually make us unhealthy, right? Everything is made, you don't even have to do any physical activity anymore to do anything. That's unhealthy. You need to move to be healthy. The fast food is the cheaper food, the easier food. It doesn't make any sense the way our society's set up. And then I hate to say it, then something happens like COVID, right? And we're not expecting it. It comes out of nowhere. And when it hits, we have a society of people who are all obese, heart health problems, and then COVID just rocks them and ends up so many people dying from something like COVID that they never should have died from, simply because our society normalized that behavior, normalized being unhealthy. That should have never happened. And that, what happened with COVID literally should have never happened. It's society's fault.
My name is Ed Hope. I'm a doctor working in the emergency department over in the UK. My hottest medical take, okay. Here it goes, strap yourselves in, because I believe, in a way, you can live forever.
Oh, good.
This is my theory here. Take a mouse. It only has a tiny brain and only lives for a couple of years, but to that mouse, it experiences a lifetime. Therefore, the smaller a brain size, the slower an animal's experience of time. Now, what happens in your last few moments of life? Well, your brain cells die off. Essentially, your functional brain is getting smaller. Therefore, time in that moment, as you experience it, will start to expand. And so my theory is that you end up living forever in this kind of dreamlike state.
My name is Ricky Brown, and I'm a board-certified plastic...
Now that's a hot take. Has anyone... I never even heard that take before. Not a single time. You live forever in your own mind. Well, that's bull... It could be both good and bad. It could be good and bad. I mean, good because maybe you have an existence after death, but it's bad because you're by yourself. It's sad, right? Now I really don't want to think about that because that makes me very sad to think about. I don't want to be alone forever, right? I don't think any of us want to, right? We want to be with our loved ones. Now I'm going to cry. It's very sad. Okay, let's continue.
Surgeon in Scottsdale, Arizona. My hottest take is that everyone in the world thinks that what we do as plastic surgeons is what is portrayed by Hollywood or the Kardashians.
Don't be rude.
That couldn't be further from the truth. People always forget we also do tons of reconstructive work.
I mean, they're doing... A lot of the work that they're doing, plastic surgeons, is this kind of work. People who sadly have been disfigured, people who have illnesses, and they need to have that redone. I don't think they should get the bad rap for the bad actors out there.
Cleft palates and cleft lips and cancer reconstruction.
My name is Dr. Sanjay Juneja. I'm a hematologist and medical oncologist, basically specializing in blood disorders as well as cancers and how to treat them. I think there's almost an intentional or not coming to the middle when it comes to integrating diet, lifestyle, herbals, and natural products into cancer care compared to research and traditional pharmacologic drugs and industry.
What up, my name is Dr. John Patton, DocJP3, and I'm a board-certified anesthesiologist and a regional anesthesia and acute pain medicine specialist. Medical hot take, so acetaminophen or Tylenol, ibuprofen or Motrin can be very effective pain medications, and in some situations, they may even be more effective than opioids.
I'm Dr.
I want to watch one more video before we adjourn, so let's go to the next one.
Everybody says that.
Ah, shit. It reset. All right, I'm going to have to just pick a video out of the playlist then. Let's see what video I want to see out of the playlist that's remaining here. The damn thing reset. Here we go. Let's watch one more video. What's left at the... Let's find something for the end of the playlist. How about... And by the way, if you submitted a video for this week and didn't make it, feel free to resubmit it. I actually see some really good stuff in here, like movie trailers and things. But I just want to end on like a really a nice positive note here. So let's watch this one. Here we go. That looks like Mega Man's hand.
Time, but it feels like ages passed when high tops closed with Velcro and summer went so fast.
It's a song? I didn't know it was a song. I thought it was just an animation. Oh, I picked it. Now we gotta suffer through it. Here we go.
Now you do your boss's bidding and drink away your stress. Instead of blowing through your mortgage, you'd rather blow dust from NES. Remember when space was the coolest before it all went wrong?
Nah, before it all went wrong with Jar Jar.
Hangs in there while you watch Double Dare back when MTV played songs. When space was the
Falcor.
before you lived from chair to chair. Fruit Loops with a prize, ice cream with gum for
Remember that? Remember the Ninja Turtle ice cream pops? I remember those. They were super popular.
X-Files made you so scared. Hanging out with Cooper,
X-Files never scared
using
me.
whistles for warp zones. PB Crisp and Hungry Hippos. Your first boner, Sharon Stone. Lick a Maiden Popples. Pokemon Total 151.
But this is all over the place because it's referencing things from the late 80s, 90s, and late 90s. So it's like all over the place with its references. It's not like one time period.
You're no longer friends with Billy. He peed in a super soaker gun. Remember when space was the coolest?
That was
When you weren't
Starfire.
sick of all of it. Mirrors and Candyman. Keaton
Mirrors and Candyman, a Candyman movie reference.
Batman. Transformers didn't look like shit. When space was the coolest. Before you were scared to disagree. Ghostbuster pajamas. Baby's not the mama. One Direction was 98 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
Why do I live like I'm being chased? What happened to the dreams of outer space?
Well, I mean, two things. Number one, you became an adult. When you become an adult, you can't just dream about your fantasies anymore because it's more reality. Like, when do you even get to think about space when you're an adult? And all you got to think about is all your real life shit going on around you. You don't have time for that anymore, which sucks. But, you know, that's the case. When you're a kid, you have unlimited time to care about wondering about what's in space and video games and movies. And then when you grow up, you don't have time for all that shit, right? That's number one. But number two, damn, this guy grew up to be a fucking pussy. He literally is standing at his car to open his door and he runs away because someone's walking by. Like, what the fuck, dude? You see mental help. I don't know. I don't think it's the 80s and 90s that made him like that. I think that this guy needs to get adjusted by a professional. Like, holy shit.
If one thing is for certain, it's that we haven't died yet. You may not be a child, but doesn't mean you must forget. Mega Man, wait for us. In the year 2000X, you'll go and save the princess after balancing these checks.
Damn, that was 10 years ago. That was actually pretty old. That's over 10 years. I never realized that was over 10 years old. Damn, it did real well. It got 5 million views for over 10 years ago. That's a really good view count, right? I think that probably got... So the reason I clicked on that because it showed the Ninja Turtle ice cream pop. And I was like, oh, I remember that. So I wonder if that's what the video is about. I had no idea that it was a song, but... All right. This was a good week for sure. I had a good time with you guys. that certainly was a great variety of stuff, right? I really enjoyed that because it was such good stuff. And I really appreciate the holiday stuff, but other pertinent stuff too in there. So thank you all. And again, I just want to emphasize, every week I try to get to as much as I can. And, you know, there's definitely a lot of clips there we didn't get to. Feel free to resubmit next week the same clips if you want to. That is if we didn't watch them, of course. And, of course, we have some new members this week. Please, you know, submit your clips. You'll see the threads to submit will probably be posted by tonight, if the very latest, maybe tomorrow, but I'll try to get to it tonight. And a great show, right? Thank you all. Thanks to everyone who chilled, everyone who supported, and everyone who hung out with me here, everyone watching on demand. That was a great one. I'm actually looking forward now to a few more weeks of holiday fun before, you know, we end the whole Christmas month stuff. That was a good start, in my opinion. So, again, thank you all. Great episode of DSP versus the Internet. And I hope to see you next week. Same time, same place. And thank you to the members. Peace out, everyone. Have a good one. Happy holidays. And I'll see you next week. Good stuff.